Hey, what's up, Canal Rats? Welcome to another edition of Saturday Mornings Outdoors with Paul K. And we gotta do something like that there. That'll be our Canal Rat gang member sign, so the other fishing clubs will know who we are. So, what a maroon. Anyway, we're here. It's a Western tide, and we're at the Breakfast Club right now. I got here a little late because I was contemplating whether to go or not, because there's a hurricane about 300 miles offshore and it's pretty windified down here. So I was contemplating whether to go surfing or not because there's good swell coming in. But I'll stick to giving the surf reports and the fish reports, and there are still breaking fish here. Just got here a few minutes ago. It's mid-morning, and we'll see what the canal treats us like this week. Hope you like it, subscribe it, and you know what to do. Let you know, Trail Boss out. And so we'll go ahead with the canal cut conditions today. Temperatures in the high 50s, low 60s. It's cool, but it's comfortable. It's not bad. You need a little kind of a hoodie or something. Winds west-northwest, pretty strong. Gusts up to in the 20s somewhere, I would imagine. And that's what's kind of cool about the canal. It's low, and these hills behind us on each side, so it kind of cuts down the wind. So you can really fish it. It don't matter what the wind conditions are. Sometimes it does. When it hits it just right, bad winds, coming straight up or down the canal, then it gets really victory at sea kind of thing, all choppy and everything. But if that's the case and you still want to fish, a very good maneuver is just get between two trees, and it cuts it nicely. The water will still be choppy, obviously, but just get between two trees. There's tons of trees all along here, you can see. Barometric pressure is rising, 29.98, and it's partly sunny today, and this is a westerly tide. It just flipped to the west, and as soon as I got here, I saw little slashes, schoolies along the edge. It looks like the rain bait or silver sides are still here, and there's birds pocketed up, which means there's gonna be breaking fish here. So there's a few other fishermen out here too. So we got mac chunks on the bottom as usual, and we'll see how the canal treats us this week. I'll let you know. Oh, I forgot to mention the astronomical data for the moonheads like myself. It's coming up on the new moon. This is the 23rd of September, and the new moon is the 25th. So currents between 2 days of the new or the full, and even the quarters, the currents get higher and lower. So it's a good time to fish. So apparently there's a hurricane that's offshore 200 or 300 miles, creating big surf, and it's already passed, I guess. So the high pressure, or rather the low pressure, which they claim turn fish on, has already occurred. But I couldn't get away from work, man. I'm committed to 60 hours, my stupid 60 hours like everyone else. So, which was yesterday. But it's passing now, and the high pressure will come back in, and we'll see how this affects the fishing. The I don't know, it's called Shanika or something. There's some birds working right here. But the names of these hurricanes, they just never cease to blow my mind, these modern names. Like when I come home from church, I read the church bulletin, and it says babies that are baptized this month, and it's like Baguka and Shanika, and what happened to Mary and Robert and Bob and Regina and all these Christian names? But it's like these young kids just make up a sound and say, that's what I'll name my kid. But well, that's what the name of this hurricane storm is, I guess. I don't even remember, but it's some weird name. But anyway, that was today's editorial. Back to fishing. All right, so we got some top water right here. When you see these seagulls and seabirds floating by in pods like that, they know that stuff's gonna erupt at any moment, and they kind of stay with the bait fish. If you had a drone, you could see above the bait fish, you know, when the light's right and everything. But when you see all these birds, if you can, geez, I wish I could zoom in, but all in here, there's all birds just floating by. And when that occurs, they know and they sense that the fish are gonna push up the bait, and there's a massive bait pod right underneath there. So, kind of neat stuff. Only in the canal you'll see that, because the current's so strong. In the wide open ocean, you don't really see them like that, you know, which is pretty interesting by note too. But those are all telltale signs of where the bait is and where the fish is. And any second, this whole place could light up, just like I said last week and I showed you last week. Hopefully I'll be able to get some footage this week. Hopefully I'll be able to get some good fishing this week. But those are clues to look for when the pods are pushing bait. See, it's interesting to understand the psychology of the birds. If you notice, there's kind of a rotation. They're floating by here. They'll all float by, and then they'll just get to a point right about here, and then they fly back up. So they know the current's moving, but the bait fish are kind of staged there. And they're anticipating when the bust-up's going to happen, if you can follow what I mean. It's pretty interesting. If you sit here and observe for a while, you see all the birds here sitting. They're not sitting there just for fun. They're waiting for the bait to be pushed up. And it's a clue to watching the birds here. Very interesting and very telltale. There's some busting up right out here, right in this area, right there. Breaking fish. They know where the free meals are and how to look at. Yeah, that must be a huge pod there. And they can see it from above. That's what I believe. It's not a sense. They can just see it. And there we go. There's a little break up right there. Right here. See them working. And the stripers or blues or whatever is below them push the fish up, and then they just jump right on them. These bait fish, like, they're kind of screwed. You know, I mean, they're attacked from below coming up, and then when they reach the surface, they're attacked from above coming down. Just be glad you ain't a bait fish, you know. There you go. There it is, right there. Look at that. They're just pushing that bait. That's incredible. Absolutely fascinating and fun, though. Makes the hair on the back of your neck, the closer it gets. My bait right below it. Yeah, see right there? 100 birds working there. Giant pods. If you had a drone, you could totally see them. I'm sure the water would be all dark there. My bait's over here. Come over here. Look at that. And right in front here. Geez, they're everywhere. It's amazing. Look at that. Come on, I want these rods to go down. Look at that. Look at. Geez, that's amazing. They come right up out of the water there. And you can see the little sparkles in the water. That's all bait. It's just loaded here. There's going to be a couple hundred birds all through here, just sitting and waiting. So fascinating. And they just do a rotation because that pot ain't moving. It's so thick in bait in here. I don't know. The stripers or whatever, bluefish or whatever they are keyed in, but they just make a rotation. They'll float down here, they'll stop, and the whole mess of them comes back and just keeps floating, waiting for the fish to put the bait up. Interesting. You have been warned many times by Angelo and Nunzio that eventually you'll end up going swimming with the fishes. Now you know. I hate throwing my camera in there, but that footage is worth it. Now you see what the stripers see. That's amazing, isn't it? Beautiful stuff, and it goes canal wide right now. It's just loaded with that bait in here, and so handy thing about this camera is you can submerge it like that, and you can match the hatch exactly, you know, and get a smaller spinning rod and throw a little a bait that would match that. But there's some splashes right there. Look at that, right there. Amazing, just amazing footage. But that's what they're after, and now you see what the fish see. And the cormorants. So one of the points I'm trying to get home to you guys is only fishermen get to see this, man. There's some beautiful stuff out here, and without sounding corny or anything, you know, but no matter how much money you got, no matter how much wealth you got, you can't buy this. This is what I'm talking about. This is, not only do you get fresh fish right from God, but you get a chance to see these spectacles of nature, and it's quite fantastic and enjoyable. I mean, on days like this, it just blows my mind how cool this place can get. You know, wait till the whales and the freaking giant sharks and the ocean sunfish start coming through. I hope I can get some footage of that to turn you guys onto that. It just blows my mind. Plus, you're fishing, you know. It's the best therapy in the world. Get your freaking butts out here. Not that I need therapy in any way. So obviously they're feeding, the stripers or blues and blues are feeding heavily on these smaller bayfish. I can't see, I don't have my net with me. I'm going to have to review that underwater footage when I get home, and I can definitely identify what bayfish these are. There are the spurling, silver sides, immature pogies, but there's just literally hundreds of tons of them here, and it seems the stripers and blues are keyed on those because they're slashes and crashes but my Mac chunks are out there, and they're just ignoring it for the time being. I've not been here that long, an hour or two, but interesting to see what type of baitfish this is. I'm betting anything it's silver sides or immature pogies, and we'll see what comes of it. This is fun, man. It's just this is the best time of year to be a striper fish, man. You know, out here seeing this marvelous stuff. So the ultimate chance of this type of fishing, the scenario right now with all this bait and pods of stripers moving through or bluefish, your chances of getting a double, or even, you know, if you're fishing with 5 other guys with bait, all their rods go down at once. But when I'm fishing alone, it's happened many times. It's the best chaos ever. I mean, it's just both rods go down at the same time and you just don't know what to do. So you manage it and you figure out what to do. That's why it's so important to really, really secure your spikes in the rocks here. Really secure them this time of year. And you could let one sit and hope that he stays pinned and working your other one. Meanwhile, you're praying, please don't let him get off. Please don't let him get off. But but my luck should be so good as to have that happen. But it's happened a few times, and it's the thrillest of thrills. Let's put it that way. And just as a side note, I just throw this in. I'm sure you guys are sportsmen like me. I love hunting and fishing and anything to do with the outdoors, of course. And I'm sure you guys too. But I found out yesterday online, it was kind of heartbreaking to me. Outdoor Life, the magazine, I was brought up on that, and I've learned so much from that magazine. It's been around for well over 100 years. Ann's Field and Stream, they no longer print paper. You know, I've probably had more subscriptions from them than not in my life. Like, always had the subscription. They don't make paper subscriptions to that no more. You can't buy Outdoor Life anymore. That breaks my heart. That was one of the best magazines ever, and really educational for an outdoor, you know, for outdoor info and to get you fired up. And but unfortunately, they've gone all digital. Apparently on their website it says it's not profitable for them anymore. I hear them, but that's just a shame, absolute shame. If you got old Outdoor Life issues, I got tons up in my attic, and Field and Stream, and you better hang on to them now. They're going to become very collectible in 5 or 10 years or so. But that's just terrible, and I thought I'd pass that on to you. It's almost like a death. I mean, it's such an iconic, absolute institution, and a great, great publication. One of the probably top 1 or 2 in the history of outdoor publications. But that's a shame. But I hope they come back somehow. You never know what's going to happen. We'll see. Small. So what's kind of cool about that last fish is honestly, I just to change it up on the Mac chunks, I rebaited. I put oil of anise on both baits, and I got that hit. So I'm gonna roll with the oil of Denise and see if that continues to bring me. What it is it's been around for 500 years as an attractant. I showed it on earlier videos, and it smells like licorice or anisette, and it's very attractive to bait for hundreds of years, and fishermen have known it. So it's working. Keep rolling with it. Try everything, man. It's oily, and apparently the oil attracts, and maybe the flavor, I don't know. Maybe they like licorice. Whatever works, right? I'll let you know. Tons of birds working right over there. I can't zoom in, but they are. Generally after Labor Day, the boat traffic slows way down, and when you get hurricane and crappy weather like this, the boat traffic almost stops, and it's really good for good fishing in the daytime. Like I said, I showed up late today on Breakfast Club. But anyway, when the mothership comes through like this, it's not good for the bait pods. It'll pick back up after 15 minutes or so, but man, look at the size of that bad boy. It looks like a tenement apartment building up in there. I'm surprised all the windows ain't smashed. That's a lot of office space. Look at that thing. I can't figure out what it is, though. What's the purpose of that? Look at that machinery on it. Something out of Providence. I don't know, a fueling ship? I have no clue what the purpose of that boat is. And, I mentioned this tons of times before, but look at the wake. There's almost no wake. I mean, that's incredible how that the massive hulls of these vessels are created, and they leave almost no wake. And like I stated before, then you get this like 16-foot scow little toy boat, and massive wakes in it, but quite fluidly designed. That was today's tech tip. And that is how the pros do it. That's what you want to aspire to be when you grow up. All utility, pure utility, working boat. Just busted up right in front of me. I can't get the camera going quick enough. I wish I could leave it on. They're so quick. Sometimes they last for a few minutes. Sometimes they just bust up and then they're gone. So this is deep enough into the video to kind of disguise it, but here is a really valuable tip for you guys for if you're in this area right now. This is I'm filming Thursday. This is this is Friday, and we're coming up on the new moon, which is Sunday. Tuesday, the 25th, 24th or 25th is 2 days after the new moon, Monday and Tuesday, and the low tide is around 5 o'clock in the morning, and that coincides with sunrise. And I guarantee you take my word for it, the amount of bait that's in here, bearing that it's still in the canal at this volume, this place is going to light up. So if you have an inkling to fish for striped bass and you're in this area, Monday and Tuesday, those are going to be breaking tides in this area, right coinciding with the moon. It's going to be exceptionally low, and they're going to be breaking like crazy. So theoretically, that's our classic New England way of thinking about the canal. If you're in this area, this is the time to fish. I promise you, you'll catch fish. If there's this volume of bait and that little water in the canal, they push up top and this place will light up. So there you go. Don't say I never gave you nothing. I believe that's either a seal or an ocean sunfish. Right there, this boat's heading right for it. I think it's a seal. It just sounded as the boat went by. I don't know if you caught that or not. Probably a seal, and I hope he just keeps right on rolling. Because seals mean no fish. We went through this at the beginning of the season. Get out of here. I fall down. Hey, it happens, you know. I'm glad I got it on film. Don't laugh too hard. Anyway, the oil of Denise seems to be working pretty good. Fishing seems to be picking up. Like myself, pick myself up off the ground. There's an old Irish saying, may the ground, oh, there's a bite right there. Look at that, huh? Let's get it. May the ground rise up to meet your face. Well, it has. Well, anyway, let's see. I don't know. It doesn't look like it's moving now. Let's see if we got him. No, so on this rod, I got the hit. You saw it. And then it didn't take. The hook didn't catch. And so I reeled that in and rebaited. And then this one goes off. And same thing. Didn't catch. So oil of Denise is working well. I don't know. The oil of Denise. Seriously. You can get it at Ocean State Job Lot for like $1.50 a bottle. Guys down in New Jersey and other parts of the coast swear by it. It just smells like licorice anisette. And you put it on, and I put it on every now and then, and sometimes it kicks ass. Other times it don't do nothing. So it's kind of weird how that works, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm getting hit. So let's see. And another one. This is a real one. frustrating. That was a good one. On freaking fire. One after another. Wahoo! So we're coming up on slack now, and it's going to switch from the west to the east. From the west to the east. And as you can see, the black sea bass are turning on now. And I had a striper. I know that was a striper on that one that I lost, of course. So that's how it works. But we're on fire here, and I don't want to jinx nothing, but we're doing good. I'll let you know. eat that fish than any other fish in the ocean. How do you like them? Well, I'm kind of running out of bait, so unfortunately, man, I wish I had more bait. I'd stay. I'm kind of tired now. I'm going to call it a day. The canal is full of bait, and they're lit up, and whenever there's bait, there's fish, and you know when to come down as the time is now. And I hope you enjoy this edition. I got some good footage to show you, and like, subscribe, and have a good week, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Same rat time, same rat channel. Bye. Just one more. Have a good week, guys.